Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, what's up, everyone? Um, some, oh, yeah, what's up, everyone? It's a really cold day today. Really super freaking cold where I'm from, and yeah. Hey, Alex. Hey, Tom. TM54. Yeah, for some reason I was trying to do a live stream, and for some reason something went funny, but it's whatever. But hey, I'm on anyway. Oh yeah, I just ordered two figures during Monday. Actually, one figure is actually coming out during you too. Happy Thanksgiving. Little late Thanksgiving. Also, I shit. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I ordered two figures. One of them is coming, but the other one is actually surprisingly coming till August. And let's just say that they're from Creative Beast Studios. Everybody should know this. Most people should know what I'm getting. Oh, and also, speaking of which, the Creative Beast Studios, they actually have a miniature. Well, they're the smaller Smilodon figure. They're the mini version, which I actually like. Despite that, yeah, it kind of has. Well, then again, you can remove the main, but I don't think that it would have like a like black fur patches of a mane, but it's whatever. At least you can remove it. But hey, at least that the color detail looks really cool. And in my opinion, like I do think that Populator would have like a lion-like coat since it lived in open habitat. Hello, Gus. Really sorry that I missed last week's live stream. I got Yeah, I hear you because of the holidays and stuff. I get it. Oh, hello. I'm sorry about that. I was watching a video of someone's dog, and I'm doing good, Gus. I'm really sorry. And happy birthday. I forgot. Yeah, happy late birthday. Hey, Donna Diego. Oh, wow. Well, happy birthday to him. Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, I got the movie tickets. Well, the movie ticket to see Sonic 3 as well. Yeah, so December 19th, I'm seeing the Lion King prequel, well, Mufasa. Technically it's a flashback prequel, whatever. And Sonic 3, I'm seeing it during Christmas Eve. So December 24th. So yeah, I am super hyped for it. I haven't seen a movie in Christmas Eve forever. The last time I actually saw a movie in Christmas Eve was during one of the Star Wars films that my friends were watching, even though I'm not a Star Wars fan. I think it was Star Wars. I forget which one. It was like right around 2015. The first Christmas movie I saw back around, I mean, during Christmas Eve was was Avatar around back in 2009. Yeah, so holy fucking shit. I can't wait to see my BIO shadow. What? BIO? Oh boy. Yeah, back around 2005, I mean, not 2005, 2009. Yeah, no joke. And then after that, we went to my dad's place. Well, my let's just say my dad's aunt's place at the time before she passed away, named Aunt Jen, before she passed away. Anyways, yeah, we don't go there anymore. Not to mention, like my dad's family side, like they're kind of old now. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm just a little tired. Yeah. Hey, Antony, I will send you link. Where the hell? Facebook. Oh, fuck me. Anthony and oh, sorry about that. I am really slow. Oh wow. I like how you send me the a picture, Alex, on Facebook. Yeah, this is kind of like similar to my version of Walking with Dinosaurs in Time of the Titans. Um, our main character gets attacked by an Allosaurus, and one of the adults comes to the rescue and saves the Camarasaurus in my version of Time of the Titans. Because I said that Camarasaurus, instead of Diplodocus being the main character of my version of the episode, Camarasaurus is, because why the hell not? Um, the artwork is by Mark Harlett. He's he's one of the old school artists from back in the 90s. Oh shit.
Good evening, Ron. Good evening, Tyranno.
Hello.
Well, you've been catching on lately. I have been super busy with content creation on my channel.
Yeah, I've been busy too a little bit.
I just came back from not just one concert, mind you, but two concerts. The first one I watched was at 5 p.m. It was an Advent concert starring a bass that I really, really love, Tobias Kehler. He's a main player at the Deutsche Oper Berlin, and he is one of the best singers of today. And the second concert I watched was at the Pierre Boulez Saal. It was a string quartet, and accompanying them was a favorite light lyric slash lyric coloratura soprano that I really love. Her name is Moitza Erdmann. So I've been having a ball, and I am currently on the process of editing the first video, which was Tobias Kehler's Advent concert. So expect it to be released tomorrow.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I I I've been busy because I went to Sunday, well, because we were like ordering some stuff, and we were trying to order a customized dog crate for my dog.
Mm-hmm.
And guess how much money it it's for shipping? $150.
Whoa.
Yeah. And the company is from South Dakota. It's called Rough Kennels, I think that's what it's called.
Mhm.
So, but at least that Bass Pro actually has one. So we went there and got it ourselves, and it's really super expensive. But the reason
Ah,
why it's super expensive is because that they test them out because of car. They test them out because you don't want the dog to have like a car crash or whatever. That's why they're
mhm.
like really, really car proof.
Yeah, they're very particular about it. Mm.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, and ordering some figures and stuff. And not to mention yesterday I was working at the park and I was there was like a Christmas party or whatever they were doing celebration and it was super cold as hell.
Mm,
I was like freezing. Like I thought I was going to have hypothermia.
right.
Yeah. I know that Germany is freaking cold as hell.
Well, these days there are days where it can be cold, but these days it's a bit on the mild side.
Really? I didn't know that because I always thought since Germany is like in somewhere in the mountains, it's very, very cold.
Well, I guess if you go to, let's say, Bavaria, if you go in like the mountains of Bavaria, then you'll you'll feel what cold feels like.
I know that Russia is really cold.
No doubt about it. But I
Yeah,
don't plan on going there.
me either.
It's just crazy what's going on with all the.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
don't get me
surprisingly,
wrong. Don't get me wrong. I love a lot of the operatic scenes in Russia. I mean, St. Petersburg has probably one of the finest opera houses ever, and there's a whole lot of stuff that I like about some of the opera singers there, especially some of the operatic and ballet scenes. But when it comes to politics and
yeah,
all of that stuff, I'm like, no way,
yeah,
no
there are
way.
some
I
really
would
cool
not want
stuff.
to touch it with a 10-foot pole, even if my life depended on it. I mean, just give me a live stream of any of the productions from Russia. I'd be happy to review them. But I mean, don't get me wrong, being there in person would be great, but consider this. I'm an American born from Filipino parents. I think it would be a pretty contentious position on my part to try to be there in person. I don't care if it's in Moscow or if it's in St. Petersburg or Prem for that matter. I don't know. I don't know if I even have a chance in hell in that.
I heard that Russia in summertime is actually pretty hot a little bit or
But
warm.
I don't mind the cold weather. I really don't mind the cold weather. It's just that like the political climate and the tensions that are going on between Russia and Ukraine, and it's like,
I
come
mean,
on.
the only thing I like about Russia is that they have nice dog breeds and, well, purebred dogs. And also they have fossils, and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're wildlife too. Surprisingly, I didn't even know that Russia has amphibians and reptiles.
That's cool. As for me, I love the ballet and opera scene. I mean, after all, Russia is pretty much the birthplace of Tchaikovsky, Glinka, uh, I think Borodin, Rimsky-Korsakov. I even attended a course about Russian opera based on um, the compositions done by Glinka, especially with the national opera called A Life of a Tsar, The Life of a Tsar, and absolutely beautiful. I highly recommend you listen to this opera,
Yeah.
especially Bogdan Sobunin's aria. Oh my goodness, there are C's everywhere. There's even a C sharp. There's even a couple of C sharps. You think that Polona is tough? You think that Manrico is tough? Bogdan Sobinin's aria is just taking it up to 11. And when I mean Pollione, I mean the Roman consul from Bellini's Norma, and Manrico, the titular troubadour from Verdi's Il Trovatore.
Yeah. Oh, Don Diego says, would you go to Alaska or
I'd
Canada?
go to both. I'd go to both. I mean, I was in Canada 10 years ago. I was first in Toronto for Christmas and Boxing Day, and then post Boxing Day and the New Year, I spent it in Vancouver.
For me, I went to the only time I went to Canada was back in Niagara Falls, and that was
Mm,
pretty much it. As for Alaska, living there, hell no. I would never live in
impossible
Alaska.
unless you're a researcher for wildlife
Yeah, unless if I
Arctic
want to
wildlife for
do,
that matter.
yeah, or unless if I'm looking for fossils, then yeah, maybe. But I
Mm,
don't like to travel somewhere cold. Like I hate cold places.
I feel
Like I
you.
just do. I don't know
I feel you,
why.
buddy. I think it's just a reaction, or it's just how your body is used to or accustomed to wherever you get or
Yeah.
wherever you are. Hmm.
Yeah, and as I always say before, like I'd rather die in the summer heat than be in the frozen wasteland.
Mm.
I know that that's a bit over dramatic, but I don't know.
Mm. And I'm also preparing the raw files for my upcoming review.
Interesting.
Yep. The review will be the first review will be of Tobias Kehra's what do you call this? Advent concert. Here's the fun part. This bass, Tobias Kehra, also dressed as Sankt Nikolaus, the German version of Santa Claus. And the pianist, tonight's pianist, she was dressed as a Christmas angel, and same with the hostesses. And there were a whole lot of kids and parents coming in. I mean, you got the daddies, the mommies, the uncles, the aunties, the grannies, the grampies, and all them kids showing up for this 25-minute concert.
I always turn up my heater up to 71 degrees. Well, for me, my mom lets me turn up to 70. I mean, no, not 70, 65. Yeah.
Hmm.
Have you ever been to Chicago? I haven't, but I want to go to the Museum of the Natural History. Problem is that Chicago is very dangerous.
Hmm.
They
Yeah.
like I'm sorry to say this, but like Chicago has a lot of deaths in America.
Yeah.
I heard this is what I
Murders.
heard.
Yeah. If you know, I mean, the
Because you got like
musical
gangs.
Chicago starring the musical Chicago with the main characters of Velma Kelly and Roxy Hart. I mean, it's sort of a, it's sort of a um, satire of how life is there in Chicago, but it's also based on the real life cases of Beulah Anand and Belva Gartner. They were women murderers there, so of
Yeah.
course.
I don't even know why Chicago has gang activities. I always thought Chicago was just, well, peaceful. Or, Chicago,
It's
not.
kind of an underbelly. It's an underbelly thing. And there's also the Lyric Opera of Chicago that also has as much of a great history as the Met in New York does.
Yeah, New York is dangerous. I know that.
I mean, well, not just, I mean, of course, if you're in the Bronx, yeah, it's going to get testy. Harlem, well, it has its issues, but it's also full of vivacity. Manhattan, whoa. Well, if you're in the right place in Manhattan, then you're okay. But stray away from the wrong place, stray away from the right place, and you don't stand a chance.
I know that Camden, New Jersey, is the number one most dangerous area of New Jersey where I'm from. I'm not from Camden, thank God, but
Hmm. What about Newark?
Newark,
Yeah,
I heard about it. I don't know too much about Newark.
because I also had some family friends who live in Newark. A lot of them were from my grandmother's side of the family, well, maternal grandmother's side. A lot of them were retirees.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. And I heard that back then Camden used to be very peaceful, but it's like now it's like they're out of jobs. I heard like
Mm.
the Campbell's Chicken Noodle Soup Factory that got shut down. Um, everything got shut down. I heard,
Oh
and
my.
now it's all gang activities and shit like that. Honestly, like it's almost like Philly a little bit.
Oh dear.
Camden is actually close to Philly.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so much shit can happen
Yeah,
before you even know it. I mean, Chicago, Philadelphia. I mean,
New York.
life definitely imitates art. So art definitely imitates life. I mean, look at the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Main character originally based from Philadelphia, and then had some trouble with some of his um, some of his bullies, and then his mom gets so concerned about his well-being that he ends up being shipped off to Bel Air, Los Angeles, California.
Los Angeles now is a dump.
Mm, it's hard not to feel bad for what's going on in Los Angeles because, I mean, of course, during its prime, it was known for the place where anybody who was rich, famous, and beautiful could thrive. But
Yeah.
Los Angeles' underbelly is something that you dare not underestimate because there are also Bloods and Crips there.
Yes.
So you really got to have a tight circle if you're gonna
Yeah.
if you're gonna thrive in Los Angeles.
Well, you said Crips or
Hmm.
Crib?
Crips,
Oh, I thought they always say crib for some weird reason. I'm like, you're in your baby crib?
Crips, Crips,
Yeah, cribs.
rival gangs.
Yeah, I
But
know.
yeah, going to your argument about Uncle Phil, Gus. I can see where you're coming from. I understand that, yeah, Uncle Phil is very strict and he's stern, and he can be very tough on Will, but understand this, he's also a patriarch who's also dealt with his fair share of discrimination and dealt with his fair share of um, strife
Who's
before
Uncle Phil?
becoming the uncle, the uncle from the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, the very, very wealthy one. I
Oh,
forget
yeah,
the
yeah,
other
yeah. We're
character.
Will Ferrell. Yeah, 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 yeah. I haven't
Will
seen that
Smith.
show forever. What?
Will Smith.
Yeah, Will
Will Smith
Smith.
is the main character. Yeah.
I haven't seen that show like forever.
I really love the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, but I still feel sad for its sixth season because you know after the dumpster fire of season five's finale, it seemed like season six just put Will back into being immature and a player. And I'm like, season five had the perfect opportunity to have him move forward with his soulmate in Lisa, and it's undone in season six. And the worst part about season six is that a lot of the plot elements from previous seasons have been rehashed. If your first episode from if the first episode of the sixth season starts akin to what happened in the first episode of its first season and the first episode of its third season, you already know that something is terribly wrong. Actually, Gus, Will's biological father left him when he was a toddler, 4 years old, barely a kindergartner. I should know. I've been watching and rewatching Papa's Got a Brand New Excuse, season 4, episode 24. Very memorable episode for the
For
right
some
reason.
reason, it feels like it's based on a true story, or it's not, right?
Well, here's the thing about the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. It's partially based on Benny Medina's life growing up in Watts, California, along with his younger siblings. The parents couldn't really afford that much, so he and his younger siblings lived with their wealthier relatives, wealthy white relatives in Beverly Hills. So, using his tenure as a producer, Medina also conceptualized the show of The Fresh Prince of Bel Air to pitch it to Quincy Jones. May he rest in peace. Not Medina, he's still alive and well, but I'm talking about Quincy Jones, the music mogul and the pioneer of a lot of 1990s Black American sitcoms.
I didn't know that. I always thought it was just a comedy show because it is, right?
Well, The Fresh Prince of Bel Air is essentially a sitcom, but there were also some serious moments that kind of made it a lot more different than one of its predecessors, The Cosby Show. Whereas The Cosby Show felt like it was somewhat safe in terms of the Huxtable family being all united and not always having to have race as too much of an issue. The characters of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air flipped the script and showed that the Banks family are wealthy, but they've also dealt with their own fair share of racial discrimination because
But
there's this whole concept of upward social mobility or social elevation, especially among the Black American community. And
but
when we mean social elevation, we're talking about using education and career as tools to want to be able to acquire material wealth and to follow within the respectability politics line. You were about to say something, Tyranno?
um I was gonna say something. Oh, what keeps me distracted is that some of these like early shows from the '90s, they always make and even I think they still do to this very day.
Mm-hmm.
They always put like the audience laughing. I don't know why they do that. It's distracting. That's why I don't watch these types of shows.
I
Ever
think
since I
it's
was
meant
a
to
kid.
have some type of connection with the audience, so that
It's stupid though. Like,
I understand where you're coming from. Live studio audience. I think
ever
it's
since
the
I was a
appeal
kid,
of.
it bothered me a lot, and it
Mm,
still bothers me to this very day. It's very distracting.
I feel you. Um, well, I'm not so. I could see why not a lot of people like the Bel Air reimagining. I wouldn't call it a reboot. It's more of a reimagining because the Fresh Prince of Bel Air really knew how to balance comedy with some of the dramatic moments. I mean, look at season one. You had Uncle Phil revealing to Will that he also dealt with discrimination and bigotry growing up after Will made a total ass of himself in the welcoming party. And then episode 4, I believe. Yeah, episode 4, Mistaken Identity. You had, Will and Carlton being arrested because they were driving as young black boys, and they were, and because of how young black American men tended to be racially profiled, it also highlights that reality. Oh, excuse me, that was actually episode 6. Episode 4 also dealt with Uncle Phil acknowledging his humble origins when his mother and father arrived from Yamacraw, North Carolina. And let's also not forget about episode 17 from season 1, The Ethnic Tip, in which there is the importance of acknowledging Black American history and never taking it for granted, especially among the Black American folk.
I didn't know that.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really
Had a great
cool,
birthday.
Alex. I really would
Ah,
have loved to give you a birthday shout out, but I have been absolutely busy with growing content. I mean,
yeah.
operas, concerts, even the occasional film. I mean, thank God that I managed to get through my reviews of all 3 Lord of the Rings movies, plus Pulp Fiction throughout November.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't like the Lion Guard either. Um, it just didn't make no sense, but it's its own timeline. Gus. Um, yeah, and honestly, I'm busy, this, well, Christmas, well, December. Oh shit, something happened to you. I think he crashed. Well, luckily I don't have Peacock.
Yeah, Gus, the problem was I had to deal, there was a bit of a connection blip, but thank goodness that that was resolved.
Yeah, something happened. You're crashed. It is what it is. It happens to me a lot.
Mm, yeah,
I hate when that happens.
yeah, me too. Yeah, I also want to add, yeah, we all miss James Avery, Gus. I miss him in particular. He was definitely one of the finest Black American actors that I've also looked up to.
Um, what was I gonna say? Uh, oh fuck. So, I forget. You have a job, right?
I'm currently um, tutoring English to kids at this institute called Schulehilfe.
Oh, so you're like a teacher.
Well, more appropriately, a tutor.
What's a
Well,
tutor?
Gus, I really love tutor. You know, it's akin to a teacher, but the tutor basically helps out kids or anybody who has problems with school lessons.
Oh, that. I see. I
Hmm.
didn't know that Germany had that. But I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah,
everywhere, not just here
yeah, they
at or
do.
Germany.
It's pretty much popular among university students or any young adults wanting to look for a job. And the other thing is that there are also older adults who do that, especially those who are over 50 or over 60.
Yeah. I
So
mean, like
it's kind of fascinating.
I'm not the best. I'm not a good reader. I'm not good at like pronouncing names. I'm not really good at math.
Hmm.
Math is my enemy. Like I hate math.
I have had an up and down relationship with mathematics, but I've acknowledged its importance.
Yeah. That's why like that's why I hate school.
Well, I can see where you're coming from. I mean, I've also dealt with my own fair share of school drama, especially some of the kids who say, "Oh, you got a feeling great in something because you're gonna this and that." It's like I've passed all my subjects. What the hell were they trying to do to me? Oh, I get it. Because I was different. Because I liked different things than they did and kind of ended up standing out. So they try to beat me down. You know what I say about them? The parents should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah. For me, like I had some drama with like students and teachers and I was like tracking them down on bike, like looking for them, revenge and stuff like that, but it was a waste of time.
Exactly. Anyway, Gus, I really love Carlton. I've wanted to emulate him so much. He's without a doubt one of my favorite characters. Sure, he had his snooty moments, but throughout the course of the series, he became a lot warmer. And that's why I like him. I like Carlton.
Interesting. And I heard, and even like, I think you even heard some teacher even said that, oh, you're never gonna be good at this and stuff, and you're gonna be something like a nobody or whatever.
Those are the worst type of teachers.
And you know what? Now I kind of accept it, but because I'm not good at like computer, like I'm not really like I wasn't really good at Excel or IXL or whatever.
Yeah. That's why I think the type of teachers who say you'll never quit, you'll never achieve anything, no, 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 no. But it also depends on the student, right? Because if the
Yeah,
student
that too.
is indifferent or doesn't really care how they progress, that can be a problem. I've also dealt with a couple of, well, one student who's been rather indifferent. And of course, it's kind of annoying trying to convince her, that there's no harm in just trying to have a go at speaking to me in English. But I feel like she's using her, I don't, if I sneak, I don't know, or if kind of sneak, I can't do it, as a shield. And that's the type of attitude I don't particularly like. It's sad, but also the other harsh reality I've also been accustomed with is, and this is rather scary, there are ninth graders who could barely even read at a fourth grade or sixth grade level, and that's
Oh Jesus,
depressing.
Jesus Christ.
Well, you probably
Well, then
heard it in
again,
the
I mean, look at me.
news.
I'm not like that. I mean, look at me. I'm like them. I'm not good at some words. Have you
But
heard
then again, there
your
are also
teachers
ninth graders who can read at
talking
their
all
level
day?
or above, but that's why with literacy, it's absolutely important.
What do you mean, Gus? Have you heard your teachers talking all day? I don't know what that even
I
means.
think I think what Gus means is like teachers just yammering on without checking if the students actually understand the lesson, or if there are any questions or clarifications. They just don't stop to ask students if they have any questions or clarifications.
Yeah, I guess I had that problem
So
too.
I totally so I could see where your question is coming from, Gus. The
Yeah,
teachers who drone on and on and on, unideal, absolutely unideal. Yeah, I understand what you mean, bud. I understand what you mean. And those type of teachers, in my opinion, are not worth my time. I'd rather
yeah.
have teachers that I can communicate with, ask questions, and all that stuff. And
There was even
granted,
a
granted, you think it stops at high school or grade school? It could also go on to college,
yeah,
whether you're an undergrad or you are in graduate school or masters.
yeah. I even had like a hot temper problem, because I was thinking about the past all day, when I was working at Walmart pushing carts, like I was thinking, oh, I hate this person, blah 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 blah.
Mm,
And then like when my anger came out, like saying that, I want, this, I got fired because of my
gee,
actions.
that's sad.
Yeah, but at least that I take antidepressant and I'm a different person a little bit.
Mm,
My teachers hammer every day
yammer,
talking.
yammer.
Well, work is important, Gus, because don't you want a job? Don't you want to, I don't know, live a life? Because
That's
that's how I
true.
got my money. Like, I have a job and, I've been saving my money to buy a house. And you know what? It happened.
Mhm. That's important, really.
Yeah. That's why I live all by myself,
Mhm.
which has been like a year. It's been like 2 years now, or a year or two. And I'm still living all by myself.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, and look at Antony. He doesn't live with his parents, and he lives with, um,
Currently, I have new flatmates.
yeah, that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I heard that they don't get along. Well, flatmates and, roommates don't get
I
along.
think uh, actually, we do get along. We do get along
Oh, really?
greatly.
I know some do and some
Yeah.
don't. Like I
It
know
always
that like my older
depends.
brother, he didn't get along with his roommates.
Uh, it always depends on how well you click with each other.
Yeah.
No.
And that includes with me because it's like I have a situation now that like a friend, is living with my friend's house, and now my friend's father is trying to kick him out, but they want him to live at my house, and I'm like, I don't know if it's a good idea because it's like we
Uh-huh.
might fight over, like who's going to clean the dishes, who's going to do this, who's going to do that, who's going to
Mm.
mow, something like that's why like I like to live by myself.
Yeah, I feel you.
That's why like I'm always a private person. The only thing I'll just invite is girls, and that's it. No offense.
Right. It's
Um,
very interesting. It's very interesting. But
yeah,
as for me, I've also been very selective with my friends and who I consider as a friend because sometimes there will be those type of shitheads who will just use you, manipulate you, and you're not always going to be aware of it. And sometimes even to spite you for whatever
yeah,
sick reason.
yeah. People do that.
Those are the worst. Some of the worst.
Yeah, very
Yep.
judgmental. Which I can be a judgmental person
It's like
too,
the
but
parents never really raised them well. Mm, I mean, I could still argue that the parents probably never really raised them well.
yeah.
Mm,
There's also yeah, that's another problem too, is that parents are not raising their kids enough. That's why like kids are in like
mm-hmm.
gang activities, violence, and graffiti property and shit like that, especially school property. Well, not school property, but like with like swings and stuff, which I don't like. Like, don't take your anger out of the playground. Like, come on, what did the playground done to you
Mm,
guys?
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I do agree 100%. Dino Diego, it sucks.
Yeah. I mean, especially some of the ones. Yeah. I realized that, I mean, I don't want to just limit it to just that one student that I have, but that's also another issue with parents who've also been working or who barely have any time to take care of their children because, well, I think for some kids, they kind of use the parents' lack of involvement to justify, oh, why they can't learn stuff like this in school and just put themselves down and don't seem interested in learning or improving themselves. It's like they still want to be stuck in this bubble of indifference because there's numbness.
Yeah.
And what the sad thing is that a good chunk of these is that some of these kids are like what, 12 or 13 years old.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, that's just it just shows me how sad it is, right?
Yeah. And my mom rejects every movie actor and my dad.
And another thing is that the worst part about parents who parents who don't raise their kids well is that they will end up acting up and trying to project their own lack of stability out on other people. I mean, that's the vibe I felt with a lot of my former batchmates. I was in a school that was pretty elite because it was a business school, obviously. It was up Ty, and the people who said, "Oh,
Oh,
you're
hey.
feeling good
Look,
in something," and tried to use it as a sort of prank on me, what turned and then what turned into what was a prank that they thought was a prank that was funny, it was actually my source of trauma. One of my sources of trauma. And I'm like thinking to myself, I've also realized that there was always something wrong with these kids because at the end of the day, a good chunk of them don't have stable home lives. And maybe they do have older siblings that weren't actually that great, even though, you know, when I wrote that angry rant, which was 6 years after I graduated high school, I understand that it did attract the older sister of probably who I felt was the biggest bully of my class. And then the older sister said she never did anything wrong to you. I'm gonna block you. You're just nothing more than a petty kid. That's why my sister never really liked you. You're never a petty kid. You know, but I mean, I feel like she just doesn't want to acknowledge the truth. The truth was, I didn't like how her younger sister treated me and a good chunk of other people. Because that doesn't sit well with me of how she behaved. But the other thing is, I can't help but feel bad for a good chunk of them because
Fuck.
these these were kids with just not so good home lives, and maybe that's why a good chunk of them turn out fake or turn out
Yeah.
to be such phonies.
I'll see you later.
See you later, Dino. Dino.
I sent you the link, Junebug Films, on your email. Oh, there he is. Hello there.
Yo, Ty.
Hello.
Hey, Junebug Films. You haven't been in my channel in quite a while.
No, just always Fridays have just been really busy, and then even today, just
Mm.
it's weird. I'm tired, but it's like I tried to take a nap and I couldn't take a nap because I've been Christmas shopping.
Oh, I was Christmas shopping too a little bit as well. Forgot about
Well,
that.
right now I was trying to get estimates on what I want. Now it's realized now that I have a job now, but it's like with
Oh,
this
you have a
job,
job. That's nice.
still feeding horses, but it's like with the job, it's like I mean, I'm making money, but
Your job
Mm.
is to feed horses?
yeah, I work on a farm.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Just lose, but gaining, you know, it's what I don't know.
Yeah. I
I wonder
mean,
how you got that job.
I've also been thinking about all the ideas that you have about your fairy tale films because I think it would be great to bring back actual entertainment for families rather than the junk that has been currently produced. But in Bluey's defense, it's not that bad. It's not really bad, but we're talking about Coco Melon, and all that. It's like let's bring back the normalcy.
Um, how did you get that job feeding horses?
Cold calling.
Cold
You wanted to
calling?
say something, Tyrone?
I just kind of called them.
Oh,
Called around random places. So anyway, no,
interesting.
I hear you. I have a few friends of Eric's writing some of the songs for it. Um, and all that stuff. I really want this one guy to do the animation for it, just because he's trained in hand drawn animation. He's 55 years old, and I'm going to give him a
Right.
shot. And
Wow.
I'm trying to get my project, the
I'll
Atrox Brothers.
I'll help you.
I know, I know. It's just that like we're very like I'm busy and you're busy, and stuff.
Yeah. Um. But no, that's the like I said, and Antony, like I said, bringing back a little bit of the
Yeah.
darkness, bringing a little bit of the darkness back into fairy tales. I mean, I love what Walt
Yeah.
did.
Exactly.
I love what Walt did, but I do think
Me
that
too.
with kids now, they need a little bit of that morality again, and
Mm,
and I think if you teach the like, I mean, ultimately the lessons that you can teach with Snow White, which is the first one that I'm doing, is that how jealousy, and it idolizing things in your life that are false idols can consume you with evil. Like that's why the evil
right.
queen. That's why the evil queen became evil, because she started worshiping the magic mirror, which led her to be
Hmm.
jealous. Which led her to be jealous of her own
Right.
daughter.
Her own stepdaughter. Yeah.
Well, not in the original story. Remember,
Wow.
in the original story, it was her daughter, but
Oh
they
man.
said well, just
Hello? Jungbo Films?
yeah. Sorry.
Oh, I thought your phone crashed.
But yeah, bringing and because even some of the stories, though, it's going to be interesting to try to adapt to bring back the darkness, especially Little Red Riding Hood.
Yep.
Um, and even Hansel and Gretel would
Yes,
be
exactly.
is going to be the interesting one too, because see, in the original fairy tales, it was never the stepmother. That was different. Those were different variations in the original stories. It was always the mother who was evil.
Mm.
But then they decide, oh, we'll just soften the blow. It's a stepmom.
Yeah. Well, in the
Like,
operatic version of Hänsel and Gretel, the mother is actually just flustered and frustrated of her lot in life. But she loves her kids, but
mhm,
she's just frustrated.
right. I mean, no, no, but that's the plan, is to adapt all the Grimm fairy tales into animated format with sort
Mm.
of musical style. But and because I'm more of a rock fan, I've talked to some of Eric's friends that can play. Like I have a drummer, two guitar
Mm.
players, and that's it. I'm looking for a bass player, and then possibly just a singer. But you
All right.
know, and definitely kind of go for that musical approach, because there is something about how music works well with animation.
Right.
Like, and I would love, even when DVDs happen, maybe
Hmm.
since Antony has a great voice here, I would really want him to basically do maybe talk about a documentary about fairy tales.
Right.
But
Um,
are you an expert of fairy tales?
I'm passionate about them.
Hmm,
well,
interesting.
fairy tales themselves, they were meant to, teach the kids morality and how to behave.
Exactly. Exactly. They're not
And
just fanciful spectacles. They're also some useful lessons for life.
and so I think that that's ultimately what I want to do. Because, like, look how the kids behave now. I mean,
Exact. I mean, you're
Well,
looking
why
at a
don't you?
guy who's currently tutoring and how I feel about some of the kids. A great chunk of them can be hard. A good chunk of them can be hardworking, but there are some who are so coddled
And well, then there's
point
some of
where
them.
they end up to the point where they just don't want to be challenged.
Well,
Yeah.
That's what's sadder.
well, I think that's the thing. I'm looking. I'm currently working on Rapunzel. Rapunzel's been the interesting one to adapt. Which that one should be a simple one, but it's especially the way I wrote it. I'm writing it more based on
Uh-huh.
the original inspiration for Rapunzel, which might have been Saint Barbara.
Yes,
Um,
that's the one.
oh my gosh! So Saint Barbara, Tyranno. This is history, so it's gonna. I'm gonna talk about something but it's so the original story for Saint Barbara. It was a girl who became a Christian, but her father was a pagan. So
Yes.
he then locked her in a tower. She still became a Christian, and then I think there was actually a guy who did come in to rescue her. He then kidnapped her, and then put her on a wheel, which means she literally tied her to a wheel, spun her around, and this is his own daughter. And by the way, she is without clothing. Let's just say.
That's
Oh
weird.
my.
And then this is his daughter too, spins her around the wheel as torture, cuts her um, breasts, and then
What?
kills her. And then kills her.
What the hell?
Yeah. So this is the villain I'm writing here. I'm not going to obviously do that in the children's show, but the guy he is a warlock in the version. But I'm going to sit there and say this: my inspiration for this character, the father, is Kefkoff from Final Fantasy, and the Joker.
Interesting.
And
Ooh.
Tony, have you played much of Final Fantasy? So you
Very,
so
very
you
rarely. Very
but you
rarely.
but you know which character I'm talking about, right? Kefkoff,
Kefkoff,
this
power hungry villain. Yeah,
clown, evil clown.
pretty much. Yeah.
So he is this just so, but then it's like, um, then probably up next after that would be Puss in Boots, which Puss in Boots is going to be one that's going to be interesting because I think Puss in Boots could be a lesson on how to for kids on how to negotiate.
Yeah.
Hansel and Gretel would Hansel and Gretel would be an interesting one because it's like
I wonder if it's going to be CGI.
what are you, Kenny?
No, 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 no. I'm not Kenny. I'm just saying, like, I wonder if your stories are going to be CGI. Like, is it going to be on, like, DreamWorks? Is it going to be on?
My own
Oh,
independent.
and
Mhm.
what's Independence going to have? CGI?
Um, I would prefer to have it.
Usually independent animation would stick with claymation or stop motion,
I
Oh,
any
I would
experimental
I
stuff.
I would want it to be as hand drawn as possible.
oh.
Uh,
Well, I like hand drawn too.
that's what I want. I would
Mm,
like to be, like I said, have it be hand drawn as much as I can. So that's the goal.
right,
You know,
exactly.
Because in my project, it's going to be CGI. But
Well,
although I don't have the money, that's the problem.
there's ways to get it.
Mm.
And also, like, it's hard to do. Like, I heard that it's harder when you're trying to do CGI with animals with fur or hair
Mm.
That's
because
usually
it's
the
a nightmare to do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
With
Um,
reptiles, like, it's hard, but it's lesser harder. You know.
right. Um,
Right.
but hopefully Anthony can maybe voice one of the dwarfs.
I would like to.
Um,
Oh, you're doing Snow White. Yeah, I forgot.
mhm. And actually, I'm doing something interesting with Snow White here. So technically, think about it this way. I decided something with Snow White. I decided to, for the title, I'm not going to do it in the script because, well, I'm going to fully admit this. This is laziness. Okay, but from now on, in this title, I'm going to put a hyphen between Snow White, Snow and White, because think about it. Her name is Snow White. There should be no space in between the name, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would be a mistranslation. And I've actually spelled, people have said I spelled dwarves wrong. Well, I spelled it, it's called fairy stories. That's after what J.R.R. Tolkien called fairy tales. So I spelled it the way J.R.R. Tolkien spells dwarfs.
Right. Anyway,
And
I think it's getting late here and I need to go to bed. Plus, I
Okay.
also need to start editing. Thanks so much
All
for
right.
having me on the stream. Please
I'll see
subscribe
you
to
later.
Tyrannotherium's channel. And please
Let
also
me know.
subscribe to Junebug Films.
yes,
Yes. Yes.
So, good
I'll
night,
see you later,
everybody.
Anthony.
And
yeah,
also invite everybody to subscribe to my channel and just knock themselves out with whatever content I have to offer them.
Of course.
all right.
Um.
See you next time.
See ya.
Yeah. I mean, I was just wondering because, like, CGI is, you know, CGI is like very popular.
It is, but I know what everybody's going to say is that, it is popular, but like, I look at it the more this way too. I like the hand drawn look. I would like to be hand drawn, as like I said, as much as possible. So,
Honestly, like now when I think about it, the Atrox Brother project is, yeah, it's gonna be CGI. At first, like when we were like talking about the hand drawing thing, maybe I should do like not animatronics, but stop motion. But I don't know. That would be weird.
do whatever best serves it right for you.
Yeah.
Um,
Although, like I said before, I don't have the money for the company, and stuff like that.
right. Well, we'll just see what happens. So
Yeah, of course. Or maybe it could just be a comic book,
there you go.
even though that I'm not an artist, but yeah.
Well,
And maybe who knows, maybe someone can adapt to the adaptation of a documentary.
mhm.
Of course, asking permission of me because I am the director. Well, wait, are directors, do they make the story or are the producers make the story? Who does who?
Kind of. Well, the director usually writes the story. The producer can write it.
Yeah, but I
Kind
would be the director because it's my story, it's my idea.
you would need to. I mean, you can come up with a story. I mean, I don't. It kind of just depends what you want.
Yeah. Then again, I have to decide for myself.
Hmm. So,
But hey, at least that someone actually did the story. Well, did the characters. Um, named Jurassic Face Off, named Tyranno something. He did some character designs. I'll actually put them in my community tab.
oh, I
But
need to take a look at those.
yeah, that way you'll see them.
Um, give him, tell him to give me an email if you don't mind.
Well, I I I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, then again, he volunteered for it, but hey, it is what it is.
I'm looking for the. You put them in your community tab?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna take a picture of it and then send it to put in my community tab after
Oh,
this live stream.
oh. I was going to say, I was just looking for it right now. Yeah. Well, you're already doing one thing that's great.
Really, I didn't know that.
Well, you're self-promoting it.
Interesting.
That's the first step. So,
Yeah, yeah. Maybe. Well, then again, it's not actually not a bad idea. I mean, it's actually a bad idea. But I was thinking like the story is kind of like similar to the Lion King prequel. But then again, like I don't want to make it too much similar to it because I would get a copyright strike.
mm,
And then I would get my ass kicked by them.
no. Okay. No.
Because you know how Disney is. Disney, like, they're pricks.
It depends on what you do.
Yeah. Of course, I'm not making them talking them or anything like that. Ow.
I mean, there's things that you could do. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah, I was watching The Penguin on um
oh yeah, I saw the first two episodes.
I only saw I only saw the first one. I didn't see the second one. Well, because it's at my parents actually have HBO Max or
Mhm.
Max is they're calling out whatever. I don't give a shit. Anyways, so yeah, I don't have Max at my house. I wish I did.
Yeah. What streaming service do you have at your house?
Well, let's see here. I have Netflix. I have Apple TV still. I
Mm,
have oh dear
Tubi.
Lord. Tubi, of course. I used to have Disney Plus, but not anymore.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, Netflix can be a prick sometimes though with signing in though right now.
exactly. You know, that's why like I hate Netflix sometimes because it's like they do that. But the reason why that it does that is because that my parents we can't go on Netflix at the same time. because it's like at my house, well, if they go on Netflix or if my little brother goes on Netflix on his phone, he I can't go on Netflix at my house. So it's like
Right.
I don't know. Yeah.
Mm.
And Tubi can be a dick because like there's like 4 commercials and that really distracts me. At least it with
Well, you're
what's
not.
his face. At least that with Tubi, I mean not Tubi, with HBO Max, it doesn't have enough commercials though. But yeah,
Well, Tubi though. Tubi though does that for a reason because they don't pay.
oh man,
What? So Tubi because it's because you don't pay for anything with Tubi. That's how they make. That's how they make ends meet. They have to sit there. So you have to play. You have to play the ads. You know what I'm saying?
uh, that's why. God damn it.
No, not really. Um, hey, you want to see? You want to hear something funny?
In November,
What?
Hey, Google, tell me a bad joke.
Did you hear about the snowman that got upset?
this video contains brief
He
discussions
had a
of
total meltdown.
Did you catch that?
I didn't hear anything.
Hey, Google, can you repeat that joke?
Sure. Did you hear about the snowman that got upset when the sun came out? He had a total meltdown.
Yeah, it's funny a little bit. But yeah.
Okay. Hey, Google, tell me another bad joke.
How did the barber win the race? He knew a shortcut.
Yeah, but I don't like those types of jokes. They're just boring.
Okay. Hey, Google, tell me a dirty joke. Why do gorillas have such big fingers?
Because they're fat. I don't
Uh,
know.
Fuck. Hey, Google. Sorry. Hey, Google, tell me a bad joke.
What's a pig's favorite karate move? A pork chop.
Okay. Hey, Google, tell me a dirty joke.
Here's a dirty joke. What did one broom say to the other? Have you heard the latest dirt? Apparently the vacuum cleaner bit the dust.
Hey, Google, tell me another dirty joke.
Here's a dirty
Okay,
joke.
I get it.
Broom say to the other, have you heard the latest dirt? Apparently the vacuum cleaner bit the dust.
Wow. So,
Okay, I get the jokes now.
okay, you want to hear another one?
No,
Okay, I'm going to tell the moth joke.
a what?
The moth joke.
A moth joke?
Yeah, you're going to listen.
What's that?
So a moth went into a podiatrist's office.
Oh,
He starts talking about how depressed he is, how his life sucks, and he can't control his life and everything. He just doesn't know what to do anymore. As he's saying this to their moth, he goes on and on how his life is just in shambles. The other moth then sits there and says, "Dude, why are you here?" He says, "I saw the light."
I don't get it.
What do moths always do with the light? Bzz. Now do you get it?
No, I don't get it.
The moth was depressed. So
Uh,
so
I still don't.
he went into the light and did bzz.
Oh, okay.
Um What's the best thing to say to a vegetarian?
An asshole.
You're still full of baloney in my book.
Oh, yeah, but no baloney.
What's the stakes of them eating meat? Are they too chicken?
I don't know.
Let's see. Um, let's see. What do you? What did the chicken say when it crossed the road?
I don't know.
Nothing, because afterwards it was, it became the chicken wasn't moving.
Oh, yeah.
See,
Yes, it is, Alex.
let's see. Um, what the? See, did you, did you did you hear about the? Let's see. Did you did you hear what happened to the? Did you hear what happened when the fat lady got on the scale?
She broke it.
No, it says she weighs worldwide.
Oh, yeah, that.
Um, did did you hear? There was a so what are the? Let's see. Did you hear what Little Miss Muppet? Do you know her?
I know there was a horse named Little Miss Muffet.
Do you? Okay, well, fuck, that's gonna ruin that fucking joke. Okay, so let's try this again. Do you, Little Miss Muffet? Do you know her?
Yeah, she's a horse.
Like, you're really not make. Okay,
She's a pony that I used to ride when I was a little kid during
okay,
horseback riding.
okay. Well, darn you. I can't say the. Now I can't say the punchline, dude, because you kind of ruined the joke.
I don't know. I don't get jokes.
Um.
I don't get some of these jokes.
Okay.
I'm not a jokester. That's why I don't know.
Well, uh, the punchline is you're supposed to say, "Yeah, I know her." You know, you're supposed to because you know the the Little Miss Little
Muffet.
Miss. Yeah. Okay. So, and then the punchline is, "I fucked her."
Oh.
So yeah, you see why you just ruined the joke? It's like, wow. It's okay, dude. Don't worry. Let's see. What
No
did?
more jokes. No more jokes.
Okay. What are you? What are you thinking about?
Nothing. I'm actually thinking about leaving because I'm actually really hungry. No joke.
Tyrani Hungy?
You said tyranny.
I did.
It's Tyranotherium, not Tyranium.
Tyrani Hungy?
No.
All right. Well, I'll see you.
All right. And you guys take care and have a nice day, everyone. I'll see you guys next week. See you later.